Hi everybody and welcome back. So I'm gonna go a little all Christian on you here, all religion, because it all connects to superhero power. I get these daily feeds from Today in the Word in my email, and I read the Daily Bread booklets that are all over the place. People should grab them because 15 minutes a day makes a world of a difference in your life. In everything we're doing. And then today's feed, to rest, sort of hit with what I was reading in here, and I realized it all fits with the videos and the campaigning and everything I'm doing and where I'm going with this. So it all sort of ties in together. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to try and not delete myself. The video I did before, I turned off. So I have to read this again with you guys. So I got to go to the top of this email, start all over again. So today is called Learn to Rest. It's about Matthew 11, 25 to 30. In 2016, the Wellcome Foundation conducted the world's largest rest test. Tongue twister. They surveyed 18,000 participants from 135 countries, asking them what activities they found to be restful. The top 5 answers were reading, spending time in nature, spending time alone, listening to music, and doing nothing in particular. We may demonstrate our love for God when we rest in Him. In Genesis 2:2, God rested on the 7th day after creating the world. In Exodus 16:23 to 30, God introduced the Sabbath to Israel through Moses, and He explained His expectations and provisions. The Sabbath was an opportunity for God's people to rest and trust. In Exodus 28:11, God concluded the Sabbath in His 10 Commandments as a holy day when God's people must refrain from work. In Mark 6:31, Jesus expressed His own need to rest. In His human frailty, He grew physically, relationally, and spiritually tired. He invited His closest disciples to join Him for a brief retreat on a boat. Their rest was short-lived, however. The crowds were waiting for the boat when it docked. Matthew 11 gives us an intimate prayer of Jesus and an invitation to rest. Jesus praises His Father, Lord of heaven and earth, for the way in which He revealed His salvation. The gospel was beginning to divide those who believed from those who did not. Those who were wise in their own eyes did not understand what Jesus was teaching. They rejected Him because of their pride and self-sufficiency. In contrast, those who humbled themselves, like children, recognized their need and came to Him in humility and dependence. They were willing to listen and learn. Jesus invites the weary to rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me. In Jesus we find rest. The rest Jesus provides is soul deep. So go deeper. I have an article I wrote, Go Deeper, something like this. Why did God view rest as important? How can we practice rest as Jesus explained it in Matthew 11? And then they close with a little prayer. In a world focused on achievements and results, how freeing it is to hear your words, Jesus. I will give you rest. Lord, thank you for giving us true rest and freedom from striving. Okay, so I didn't disconnect this time. So back to today's daily bread. It says, greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends. Loving like Jesus. He was loved by all. Those were the words used to describe Giuseppe Berardelli of Casnigo, Italy. Giuseppe was a beloved man who rode around town on an old motorbike and always led with the greeting, peace and good. He worked tirelessly on behalf of the good of others. But in the last years of his life, he had health problems that worsened when he was infected by the coronavirus. Hang on. In response, his community purchased a respirator for him. But when his condition grew grave, he refused the breathing apparatus, choosing instead to make it available for a younger patient who needed it. Hearing of his refusal surprised no one, for it was simply in his character for a man who was loved and admired for loving others. Loved for loving. This is the message the Apostle John keeps sounding throughout his gospel. Being loved and loving others are like a chapel bell that tolls night and day, regardless of weather. And in John 15, they reach somewhat of a zenith, for John lays bare that it's not being loved by all, but loving all that's the greatest love, to lay down one's life for one's friends. Human examples of sacrificial love always inspire us, yet they pale in comparison to God's great love. But don't miss the challenge that brings, for Jesus commands, love each other as I have loved you. Yes, love all. Loved by all and love all. Do you get this mixed up sometimes? Why or why not? What might laying down your life for a friend look like today? Loving God, please help me to love as you love me. So my point in this is superhero power, right? Superhero movies. They lay their lives down. They're out there battling all the evil in the world for everybody all the time. And the people that make these movies do it out of love. So if we come together here now and help me and help each other, we're doing it in love for a loving reason. And I want to give people rest. The point of making these movies is to get to a place of rest where you don't have to worry about running around ragged, working multiple jobs, wondering how long the jobs are going to last, how much money you're needing, where the money's going to come from, pay all your bills to keep yourself going at a life standard everybody is basically deserving to be living at. In making movies and being in entertainment, it's in the rest article where reading and music, and slowing down entertainment is part of rest. So if people are doing things for a living that they really enjoy, that they like, it's not a job. They do it for pleasure. So they're doing it in a state of rest. They're relaxed. Their heart rate's slowed down. They're in a good state of mind and a state of condition. And so if we make the Smallville movie, and You've Got Mail Too, and my Supergirl trilogies, and my plays and other stuff, and we reverse the damage that COVID caused in us being locked down, and the inflation and everything that's gone on from the people with all the money that want to stay up there with all that money, making it harder for us to live. If we come together and we do things with the goal of being able to reduce the cost of living and worry for all of us, then we can have more time for ourselves and our families and have that rest that we need to be healthier. And ultimately that creates a better society and a better city, which, keeps the energy and the momentum and the faith and the belief in superhero power. And we have that in us as humans, to be superhuman in our own nature and our own right. So that's where I'm going with my campaigning and trying to do all this now and get this off the ground, because I had enough of watching the strikes. The strikes are not the answer. Strikes are just causing more strain on situations, right? Do something about it. And when it comes to the movie world and entertainment and painting and stuff, we have the power to change the rules. We have the power to break rules or make our own rules and design our own system and programs. So that's where we're at now in rejuvenating and refueling the industry for us as Canadians in Canada. We don't have to go by the set standards of rules of other countries. We can create our own industry based on our own rules. So we can have an unsolicited and solicited pile of mails coming in, two different groups of material that you go through to find the best material to give people the most opportunities and the most chances to succeed in an industry where they have that passion and they want to do that work. And when they're good, they're good. And if they should be in that work, then they should be able to find work in the industry to do that. So that's why I'm saying, let's do this. That's why I want to see people in Superwoman clothing and other stuff that's out there when it starts becoming more available, or that you guys help make it more available. So keep coming back, listen to the stuff, support the sites, follow everything, do what you can to get involved, so that we can make that difference, so we can all get to that place of rest and draw closer to God, draw closer to the light and that above us energy, the creator of everything that gave us the ability to have the freedom to be in our minds and create characters and have a good time doing things like this. So yeah, peace out everyone, have a good night, food for thought, and I hope you all have sweet dreams, and I will be back with more poetry for all of you. Thank you, good night. Thanks for watching Now TV at I Am Just Jen YouTube channel.